Hello everyone. Remember how not that long ago we planted cabbage together and we watered it with rainwater from the catchment system, and we watched it grow and grow and grow? Well, this is what happened. Okay, good afternoon everyone. Remember when I was so excited to plant the cabbage and just went ahead and did it and was thinking, look, these are growing so well. Well, they grew a little too quickly. Right there, you'll see that they're actually exploding out of the garden bed, and they've been doing this for a couple of weeks or maybe even months, dare I say. And I need to take them out because they're taking up too much space, and I haven't wanted to do it because I've wanted to film doing it, which is such a new weird like want. But anyway, we are here today. Today it's May 22nd. I probably should have done it in March, honestly. We're gonna take out these cabbages and see if there's anything else happening in our little garden. Here's the situation. It's a little embarrassing if I'm being honest. But yeah, they grew hog wild. They went hog wild. They grew hog wild. We're gonna take these out. I'm almost tempted to save them and like harvest the seeds, but I just really want them to get out of here. Wow. Yeah, that needed to go. What's that, Marks? These, I realize, do have seed pods on them already. I guess I'll see what's inside. They're not developed yet, I can tell, but maybe there's something in here. Huh. Well, I think I just fell out. Let's get a bigger one. Oh, wow. I wonder if I'll be able to save these. It's pretty cool. I need to go get a little jar for them. I'll be right back. Something that I did not anticipate one bit was that these peas would be almost starting to be ready, but also that they would start to cling on to the overgrown cabbage. And unfortunately, I damaged one of the stalks, but let's see. I'm hoping it's not too bad. Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. I think I might have to just take this whole thing off so it doesn't weigh down the rest. Which is really unfortunate because that happened over here and over here. So I guess that's a triple lesson learned about clearing out this cabbage and not letting it grow too high, because we all know that these are clingy plants. Dang. But look, on the right side of things, I can just harvest this and use a couple of these early peas for some soup that I'm planning on making pretty soon. So I guess not all is lost, but some. These are lost, which is sad. But look what we have here. Where is it? Oh, ready to eat. I always think of my grandpa when the first pea comes out, because I think the very first time I started trying to grow things, I grew sugar snap peas, and I was able to harvest 2 of them just a couple of weeks before he passed. And that's just like a fun little memory to always have to come back to. So let's eat this one right now and think of Geegaw. Oh, this looks so good. Marble, you want to help me eat the pea? Okay, gross. Cheers, Geegaw. Yum. It's so good. It's so good, Marpo. Let's look and see if there are any others ready to go. This is getting there. Looks good. Looks good. The only thing that's not exactly looking good is that they're growing about 2 feet higher than our last trellis, so that might be a fun Jeff project. Or I don't know, does anyone have any recommendations or suggestions about how to manage really tall peas? You can let me know. Peas do. What happens is I get all excited that they're growing, and then I'm like, they can do it on their own, and I really just need to make sure I'm watering them and make sure I'm here ready to harvest them so that we can enjoy the awesome bounty that's growing right in our backyard. So hopefully I remember to do that. Where am I? Let's do some other quick garden updates. I'll just show you kind of how each bed is going. This is our garlic. It's starting to die, which is actually a good thing because then we can pull it up. Surprisingly, these I think are snapdragons, and they're starting to grow a little bit here and here. The chives, like, I guess that's a chive. Oh, and here's one too. I guess I'm not. Here they are. Okay, they're proving me wrong. I can still hope that something will happen with that. Chard, calendula, chard maybe. This is where all the radishes were. I pulled those up. And more calendula. We've got some calendula flowers growing already. These were volunteers from last year. Basically this whole bed was. There's some mums. So flowers will start happening soon. One thing that I need to note now is that the peas, like earlier, they cast an entire shadow over this bed. So next year, Heather, plant them at the top of the bed, the front of the bed, so that when the shadows come, they happen down here, not where everything else is trying to grow, unless I want shade. Okay, so this is a note to myself. Marble agrees. But we also have some lemon balm, which is starting to take off, and I planted it too closely kind of on purpose just because I didn't believe that it would grow, so I'll probably have to thin that. This is echinacea finally starting to peek out a little bit, and because I didn't believe this would grow, this is more echinacea, I planted some snapdragons starts that I grew from seed, or that I planted. It grew itself, and now I have some space to think about what I want to have happen here. I might give up on the cabbage idea. I might not. Over here in this bed, things are starting to look green and lush. This is chamomile. This is doing well. I'm excited to have some of that for tea, and maybe some popsicles. We'll see later. Carrots, onions. Earlier I'd come through and trimmed this just for some garnish, and it seems to be doing fine. And actually this stalk seems to be one of the thickest ones there, and maybe it's because I trimmed it and like there's some energy going back into that, or maybe I chose that one to trim because it was already the thickest one, and I thought if I do damage it, it has a higher chance of surviving than the others. So hard to say on that. That's looking pretty good, and that's the little garden. Marble looks so silly. Look at you do, Marbs. You look so long. He just had a nice BATH. Didn't you, little boy? Yeah. Good dog. I decided to go ahead and try to save some of the seeds from the cabbage. This is that process, actually quite a slow process, and I'll explain a little bit more about that next. So here's what I saved. It took me maybe 15 minutes to get this much, and I decided to save some in the pods and some just as seeds. Honestly, I started to get a little bit hungry, and then I started thinking, am I really going to plant these? So I'm going to pause for now. I feel like I have a good amount to work with for an experiment. Because again, who knows if these are even viable. They might be too young to have what the cabbage needs in a seed to continue to grow, so we'll see what happens with these. So I guess I do have to plant them so that we can see what happens with them. But I'm gonna go inside, have a little lunch, and then probably come back out and maybe weed the greenhouse a little bit. Thank you for joining me today on this cabbage and pea adventure, and I can't wait to see you next time and show you what else has been growing in our garden. Bye! Okay, one last thing. I was just coming back through to weed the carrots because I know I haven't thin them as much as I can. So I was just pulling the tops of these out, and look what came out as well, a tiny little baby carrot. So that's super exciting, which gives me a lot of hope for them, because honestly, if I harvested all of my carrots and they looked like this, I would be happy, just because I'm so new at this. But I have hope that they'll be actually bigger than this and really colorful too. Yay! Thanks everyone for watching, and here's an up-close view of the sunset carrot.